What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a very exciting, very highly anticipated video, for me anyways, and that is my end of year book recap, book tag kind of thing. And yeah, so I'm just going to go through a bunch of questions that I thought up myself. No, I didn't. I got them from other videos that I was watching. A few I did actually think of by myself, but most of them I got from other people's book tag videos. But anyways, we're going to start off with my stats for the year. So I use Goodreads, so most of these did just come from Goodreads, but none of them I did a little maths in my head. First up, I had a goal of 50 books this year and I read 57, which is pretty good. I probably could have read more, but by the time I got to like October, I was already at like 50 books. So I was like, oh, there's no rush. It's good, but then it's also bad because then I'm just reading to get to the goal. But which is why the second half of the year I definitely didn't read as many books as I did the first half of the year, because I feel like the first half of the year I'm reading and then I get to about August and I go, oh, I'm actually gonna make this goal fine, and then I just relax. I read 24,891 pages this year. Most shelved book was Fourth Wing, with over, I can't even read that number, over 4 million people have shelved Fourth Wing on Goodreads. My least shelved book of the year was this, and 27 people have shelved this on Goodreads. And not more people reading it. It's a really good book, you guys, definitely recommend it. I reread 12 books this year, and it's so high because I reread the Shadow Me series, and then I also, my other reread was the Embassy Row series, and those are the only books that I reread this year, which is actually pretty impressive because I'm a rereader. I'm always out here rereading books. Like, I'm already contemplating rereading a bunch of books I read this year. Boys of Tommen. And I read 8 ebooks. All of them were on my phone. I didn't get my Kindle. I didn't start reading on my Kindle until this year now. Top genres, according to Goodreads, are romance, fantasy, and mystery, which I was like, yeah, you know what? That's true because that is my top books. Anyways, into the actual questions. First up is a book you wish you could erase your memory and read again. This one I was like thinking, and I was like, I feel like I would like to erase my memory and reread a lot of my favorite books again, but the one that first came to my mind was the Natural series. I would love to reread this and read it for the first time ever. It was such a good series, and I feel like because it is like a mystery crime one, you like read through it really quickly, but I'd love to reread it with a fresh brain and experience the like shock and like trying to figure out who did what happened. It was just such a good experience reading these books, and if you haven't read them, I definitely recommend. They are so good. I would recommend them to anyone. They are like honestly the best books ever. Oh my god. Next up, we have my new favorite characters. This was kind of tricky. I was thinking it, I was like, I don't really know. My first one that immediately came to my head was Kiva from The Prison Healer. I love Kiva. I love that she's not helpless, she's not weak. Like, this girl knows what she wants, but she's also not ruthless. Like, she's not going around killing people, you know. And I just love her. She's a horrible narrator. Oh my god, she's the most unreliable narrator ever. But I just love her as a person. I love the way that she thinks. I think she thinks really similarly to me. It's like, that's why she's so unreliable, because I'm also very unreliable. But yeah, Kiva is definitely one of my favorite characters that I've ever read of. I loved being in her mind. I was like, this is crazy, this is so cool. Shannon from, I don't have the physical book, Finding and Keeping 13. She's just so sweet. Like, I just want to give her a hug, you know, and I don't know, she's a really sweet character, and I loved the way that Chloe Walsh has made her, because like created her, because I don't know, like, while she went through such a horrible time, she has this way of looking on the bright side, and even though her life is so utterly horrible, she still finds a positive in things, even though she's like absolutely terrified for her life every single time she steps in her own home. And I just love her, and I want to give her a big hug. Okay, next one that I just thought of. My new favorite book boyfriends. Look, most of them I mentioned in my mid-year book recap, so I'm not going to mention them again. If you want to mention them, if you want to see them, you can head over there. But my new one. First up, we have Dean from the Natural series, and also Michael. Dean and Michael, they're complete opposites, but they are just so funny, and I love them both so much. I love Dean differently to I love Michael. Michael's like comedic relief. Michael is like funny. Yeah. Michael is Michael, but Dean is Dean, and therefore perfect. And then next up we have, of course, how could I go without mentioning Sir Johnny Kavanagh. Oh, I'm sorry. I just could not make it a video without talking about him because this man is crazy. This man will walk through fire for Shannon. Oh my god. Like, I just have no words. And then of course, because apparently like if they're from this universe they're just amazing. Joey Lynch. That's all we have to say on that issue. Anyways, sorry, continuing. If you want more of a rant on that, go and watch my media book tag because I rant on that. Next up we have most surprising book. I did a good and a bad one. So one that I was surprised that I liked and one that I was surprised that I didn't like. So the good one was actually The Bodyguard. I think I talked about this in my media book tag, but The Bodyguard, I was shocked that I really liked it. I kind of was like, oh, I'll give it a try. It was just a book that I had to read, and then I actually really enjoyed it. I can't really remember what it's about, but next up we have a book that I was surprised I didn't like. I think that it was just overhyped and maybe I overhyped it for myself. Wild's Love. I was really sad that I didn't like it actually. I really wanted to like it, but I just didn't. And I was really excited to read the rest of the, is it Chestnut Hills? Chestnut Springs? Yeah, that like little life. I wanted to read about it more, but I didn't enjoy it, so I don't think I will continue reading that series, unfortunately. The longest and shortest book that I read. The longest book that I read was Redeeming Six, and it is 1,066 pages. Is it? The longest book I read, definitely worth every single page. Oh my goodness. This book teared my heart out, ripped it to shreds and shoved it back in. Oh. And the shortest book that I read was Believe Me, which is because it's a novella. Most emotional book that I read this year was definitely Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. It deals with, make sure you check trigger warnings before you read it. It basically is an entire book dealing with Magnolia's, wait, spoilers for Magnolia Parks. It basically is an entire book dealing with Magnolia's grief of losing her sister Bridget, and it was it almost hit a bit too close to home. Because Jessa Hastings is such an amazing writer, it literally just felt like I was like experiencing that grief myself, and obviously like through some way I was because I was losing a character, but it was like every time I opened it and I read it and I was just thinking this is what it would feel like to lose my sister, which is absolutely horrible, and I cried multiple times reading the book. However, it was definitely, it wasn't just sad, it was also emotional because you got to see their character growth, their character development. Like Magnolia grew so much throughout that entire book, between like actually dealing with her grief and coming to terms with the way that her grief and her ADHD work together, and also trusting BJ, and also BJ's obviously incredible character development through the entire series was just insane. But yeah, that was definitely the most emotional book that I read this year, I think. Otherwise, the only other one that I would think of would be Monday's Not Coming. It's up there. And that was more because it's a mystery, kind of, and this girl's best friend just doesn't appear up at school one day, and it literally takes them months to realise that something has happened. So yeah, and it was a very roller coaster, definitely check trigger warnings for that one. It was a very difficult one to read, but it was such a good book. I definitely recommend it if you haven't read it. And then the happiest book that I read was probably, I have two. One, Some Kind of Perfect, Krista and Becca Ritchie, sorry. I think because it was just a tie-up to the end of the whole Calloway sister series. It was just such an amazing book. I loved that it ended it all off, and it was just like a nice little light read, seeing how they all like finish off their lives or whatever. So it was definitely a happy book, but also sad because it was the end of a world that I have literally been immersed in for years. And other than that, I thought of Happy Place because it literally is a happy place. It was just a really nice read, and I'm so glad I finally read it. Oh my god, it took me so long to read. I don't know why. I was reading it and I was like, why did it take me this long to read? It was just, I devoured that book. It was so good, and just the way the world Emily Henry creates amazing worlds and she just makes me want to live in them, and I really, really wanted to live in the Happy Place world. The best series that I read, once again we're just going to come back to these two I think, most of this video. Number one is the Prison Healer series. I love Lynette Noni's writing and the Prison Healer series was just incredible. I loved it so much. From the characters to the world to the storyline, everything about it was incredible. Also in this, it's just complete series that I read this year, so I'm not including Boys of Tommen because obviously it's not finished. Same with Powerless and like Fourth Wing and stuff like that. I'm not including them because obviously I haven't read the entire series. The Natural series, I already talked about it. It was just such an amazing series. The characters, the world, the mystery, it kept me gripped, and it was definitely a good series. I loved it so much. The prettiest cover, this was kind of tricky because I wasn't really sure. Like none of my covers are like outstandingly pretty, but I love the Reckless cover. I don't know if this is just me, but I love the cover. I just love how it's like tied together, and when you think about it, like the way that the flowers and stuff are shown in the book. The difference between like Powerless and Reckless, like it's slightly different, but you can see that there's a difference, and when you've read the book, I just love it. I really love these covers. They're really pretty, and I think they really represent the world that it is. Book with new favourite quotes. Saving and Redeeming 6. I couldn't exactly pick apart like either one because they both have such amazing quotes, and I just take photos of the quotes that I see. I don't like write them in, but I do want to start doing that. But these just have such amazing quotes, and oh my goodness, Joey and Aoife literally like I'm gonna read some to you that I have on here. Let me find. Literally I'd be bawling my eyes out, like crying. I love you. I mentally told her I'm sorry. These have no context, so you have to like know the context to understand. The letter, did you read it? Yeah, Joe, I read it. I didn't want to leave you, he admitted. Then a heart-wrenching sob tore from his chest. I only wanted to protect you. That's my job, remember? I joked through my tears. I'm the one saving you, 6. Oh my god. Oh, it's just so good. Being with her was like breathing. I didn't know I needed the air, but I knew that I would die without it. Oh, okay. Oh, this one's so good. Oh my god, wait. This is just me giggling. You can't tell me what to do, Joe, I growled, feeling a combination of drunk and dizzy. You don't own me. Well, that's bad fucking luck on my account because you sure as shit own me. Other than that, those ones are kind of just like giggly quotes. But Magnolia Park's Into the Dark was another one where I was like, because Jessa Hastings writes so amazingly beautifully. The metaphors that she presents in that book are just insane. Like, she is a master with words. I'm gonna read these if they don't give you, I'll try and do it like so they don't give any spoilers. So this one says, a star is a star, and then there's a bit of dialogue, and it says, but in another galaxy, that star is also a sun. Hard to quantify, actually. What do I have to show for this life? Her. It's her. Loving her, that's all I've got. And he's saying I've not even fucking done that well. Everyone has markers for their life, ways they remember certain things and times, stakes in the ground. She's mine, my whole life, all dotted with and by things that I remember about her. She's how I frame the world. This one is sad. This one is really sad. All alone in my mind, just wandering further and further into the dark that is the absence of her. I've loved this face all my life. It's the sun I pray to, and what we have is a temple. I built it with my bare hands. I nearly died trying to build this fucking thing. Built it till my hands were raw and bloodied, and I'll die on the altar of loving her. Happily too. That's not a waste to me. Those are my two books that I think of quotes from like almost every single day. I'm gonna try getting into more of like actually like highlighting and like tabbing quotes that I really love, because I do take photos of most of them, but then sometimes I just like think of them and I'm like, oh, I wish I had like written that down somewhere. Anyway, next question. My new favourite author. I have a lot. Lauren Roberts goes without saying. She's an auto-buy author. I will buy anything from her now. As well as that, I recently added Chloe Walsh. I think she's gonna become another auto-buy author. I don't know, I mean, I've only ever read the Boys of Tommen series, but the way she writes those are literally incredible. So I'm gonna see if, I don't actually know if she has any other books. Maybe I'll see and see if she has other ones and I'll give them a try, you know? Those are the only two that like I kind of discovered this year. Other ones have already been on my like auto-buy list. So books that I finally read. Number 1, Boys of Tommen. I was seeing this all over my TikTok. I was like, oh, it's not gonna be worth it. Oh my god, it was worth it. It is now like literally in my head. It is my Roman Empire. I think about it all the time. And Happy Place, I'm so glad I finally read it. As I said earlier, I don't know why I was waiting so long. Like Emily Henry is literally like just incredible, and I don't know why I waited so long because it was so good. Oh my goodness, it just made me so happy, as the book title says. It was just a really, really good book, and I'm so glad I finally read it. The Naturals, once again. Don't know why it took me so long. And then finally Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. This one kind of, I'm putting in books I finally read, and then also books I'm glad I got off my TBR, because I think that I had higher expectations for it. I think I didn't expect it to be as depressing. I sort of hoped that that thing that happened with Bridget didn't happen, and I thought that it was going to be resolved. It didn't, and I was very shocked when I realized that she actually, like, that thing actually happened. I think I just blocked it out, but I didn't remember that actually happening, you know? I'm trying to say it without spoilers, but anyways. Yeah, and I'm glad that I did get it off my TBR, because I'm glad that I finally finished up BJ and Magnolia's story. I'm pretty sure she's doing another Daisy Hates, right? She better be. Oh my god, she better be. Okay. Book that should be made into a TV series. Definitely a TV series for this one. Boys of Tommen. Oh my god, I would die. Like, actually, I would die. Like, here's what I'm picturing, right? A mashup between Normal People and Derry Girls. Perfection. Oh my god, can you imagine? I would die. Literally cark it on the spot. Oh my god. Like, can you just imagine? Please tell me you're picturing this. Like, it would just be incredible. Oh my goodness. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop. Book that is my happy place, Powerless, is really actually my happy place. I love it. I love the characters. Like, Peyton and Kai are actually my home. I think about them all the time. I just like want to be a part of their little, I want to just be there. I want to be like, hey guys, because they're my best friends, but they don't know it. It really is my happy place, and I love the world, and I love that we're building the world as Peyton's discovering the world. I really love that, the way that Lauren Roberts is like expanding the map as we go through, because obviously we don't know the entire world because Peyton doesn't know the entire world, and I love that. I love that she's done that. Next up, I put Girl Abroad, because this one, it just, I don't know, it was just a really happy book. I just really enjoyed reading it. I loved the aspect of her living abroad. Probably because I aspired to do that a lot more with my life. But yeah, it was just a really happy book, and it was really nice to read. I thought it was so much fun, and you know what, I want to live like that. Give me her life, please. That would be great. Next up, we have the most Taylor-coded book. I, of course, had to go with The Road Not Taken. Literally, it is the most Taylor Swift-coded book ever. Like, he didn't get the letters. I'm sorry. I don't know. It just, like, something about it just screams Taylor Swift. Like, Taylor Swift definitely took inspiration from this, even though it was written afterwards. But I just really love it. I think that Emily Tudor, well, I know she's a Taylor Swift fan. I know she is, so that's probably why. But I just think Liv is just folklore. Liv is folklore. Oh, she is so folklore. Yeah. She is This Is Me Trying. She is Mirables. She is like, yeah. If you've read it, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, why don't you know? You should go and read it right now, because this is the most Taylor Swift coded book that you will ever read. I love it so much. The best book adaptation of the year. I actually haven't fully finished watching it, alas. I am watching Tell Me Lies, which honestly I'm quite shocked at how good it is. Stephen is exactly how I pictured him in my mind. Oh my god, I hate him so much. But it's actually really good, and I'm very impressed with the book adaptations so far. I'm up to like, I'm halfway through season 1. I haven't watched that much, but so far it is really good. My lowest and highest rated books on Goodreads. Lowest rated book on Goodreads was Very Bad People, and unfortunately this was reflected in my rating. I rated this, I think, 2 stars. I really didn't enjoy it very much. I probably should have DNF'd it, but I didn't. I think I was waiting for it to get better, but it kind of didn't, which is really sad because I really did want to read it. I really did want to like it. It looked really good. But yeah, it just wasn't for me, unfortunately. And my highest rated book with a 4.63 average rating was Redeeming 6, and once again this was reflected in my rating. I rated this 5 stars. You couldn't rate it any less, okay? Eva and Joey are just like that incredible. A new annual reread for me, Powerless. I will not shut up about this book. I'm so sorry if you're bored of me, but like, I'm sorry. It just, I'm gonna be reading it again this year. My new comfort book is going to be, I'm pretty sure, Binding and Keeping 13. While I love Saving and Redeeming 6, I don't think I can read them very much again. I don't think I could read them that many times again because it is such a, I don't know, it was such a like roller coaster. But Binding and Keeping 13 really, it just felt like a warm hug. Johnny Kavanagh just felt like, oh. It was just, I really loved it, and it's definitely a new comfort book. I'm very excited to reread it. Most excited for in 2025, obviously we have to mention Onyx Storm. I am halfway through it, so we're not going to say anything else about it, but I'm very excited. And of course Fearless, which is the final book in the Powerless trilogy. I'm very excited for that. That comes out in April. And finally we have Great Big Beautiful Life, yet another Emily Henry book. I still have to read Funny Story, I know, but I'm very excited for Great Big Beautiful Life. It's meant to be a bit different, I think, from what I've heard. It's a bit different to her other books, so I'll be interested to see the way that she has written it. Finally, the last question that I thought up myself, because I'm just a genius. Worlds that I wish I could live in. Number 1, happy place. I already mentioned it. I want to live in Maine. I love Maine as a place. It is such a beautiful place, and the way that, and the Maine that they lived in was just incredible. I was like, where was this Maine where I was? Because I didn't have this. Next up, Boys of Tommen. I want to live in Boys of Tommen. Oh my god. Where is it based? Cork. I want to live in Cork. Oh my goodness. I want to go to Tommen College, please and thank you. That would be really great. I want to be a part of the little courses. That would be really amazing. Yes. Thank you. Sorry, Shannon. I will be taking your man. Or Aoife. No, I think Joey needs Aoife. Yeah, okay. That's so mean of me. Have conversations with friends. I just love the idea of being a uni student in Dublin. Excuse me? That would be great. And studying like literature, studying writing, that would be so much fun. I just feel like it looks like such a fun world. I don't think I'd really want to be in Francis's position, but I'd like to live in this world. I think it would be a great world to live in. The fourth wing. Look, I wouldn't be surviving, let's just say this, but I want to ride a dragon. I probably wouldn't make it across the parapet. I definitely wouldn't make it up that thing. What's it called? I don't know, I just want to ride dragons, so I'd like to live in the Empyrean world, thank you very much. And I'd like to do it without all the death and dying, that would be really great. But I just want to ride a dragon. And then finally, I really want to live in the naturals world. Like, I want to be a profiler, I want to be able to tell people when people are lying, and I want to tell effortless lies. I would love to do that. I just dream of being a spy, so this is kind of like the same thing, but I didn't reread Gallagher Girls, so I can't include that in here. So yeah, I'd really love to live in the naturals world. I want to be a part of that. I want to be a spy. I'd be really bad at it, but like I dream of it. I have since I was a little child, and I just think it would be fun. I just want to be Cassie for a little bit, just for a little bit. That'd be fun. Yeah, though that is all of the questions that I thought up. This is gonna be a very long video. It's like 40 minutes long. And I'm sorry that the light went down. It got really cloudy, but I hope it's still like kind of bright for you to see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And let me know any other book videos that you guys want to see. I'll try and do some more up on Heyman, because I do really enjoy talking about books. I really enjoy talking about books. Book videos that you want to see, whether it's like reading vlogs or like things kind of like this, asking bookish questions and stuff, let me know and I will try my best to do them. But yes, look out for the next videos that are coming. Yeah, but that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Love you so much. Toodles!